Most men assume attraction is obvious, but here's the truth. It rarely is. The strongest signs a woman likes you are usually the ones she tries hardest to hide. While you're overthinking every little detail, she's quietly dropping hints, leaving subconscious clues, and showing behaviors you've probably overlooked your entire life. And if you keep missing them, you'll keep facing rejection, replacement, or watching her give her heart to another man while you're left wondering what went wrong. This isn't about cheesy pickup lines or surface-level advice. This is about psychology, the hidden side of attraction women rarely put into words, and the reason she'll test you instead of confessing her interest directly. I'm going to break down the subtle signals she gives when she's into you, how to read her subconscious reactions, and the exact psychological triggers that make her think about you, chase you, and even reconsider other men in her life. So let me ask you this. Have you ever been around a woman who acted distant, yet deep down you sense there was more? Have you been thrown off by her hot and cold behavior, her questions, her playful jabs, the way her actions don't quite match her words? If you've ever wanted to understand how to be irresistible, how to spark real desire, and how to finally attract the right woman without being ignored, cheated on, or replaced, then stop scrolling and pay attention. Because what you're about to learn can mean the difference between losing another opportunity or creating the kind of connection and relationship you've always wanted. Here's the fascinating truth. No matter how much someone tries to hide it, desire always leaks out. A woman may convince herself she's composed, that her feelings are masked behind a polite smile, but her body language, her energy, and her smallest gestures betray her. Attraction is like fire behind glass. It can be contained, but never completely concealed. You don't always see the fire itself, but you feel the heat it gives off. Attraction works the same way. Long before she says anything outright, her energy reveals the truth. If you know how to look. The men who excel with women don't wait for obvious confessions. They read the quiet cues, the subtle shifts, the small details. That's where seduction begins. Unspoken, silent, but undeniable. Pay attention when she's around you. Notice how her behavior shifts from how she is with everyone else. She laughs a little too hard at things that aren't even that funny. She positions herself so you're in her frame of view. She'll even stop mid-thought just to see if you're still engaged. These aren't coincidences, they're invitations. Most men miss them, dismissing them as politeness. But a man with perception knows better. The hidden language of attraction speaks louder than words. Women are masters of disguise, but desire always leaks through the cracks. Here's the paradox. She hides her interest out of fear of rejection or judgment, yet at the same time she leaves trails for you to find. The game is built on this contradiction. She wants to be noticed, but not exposed. She wants the thrill of being discovered without having to confess. This is why some men seem to attract women effortlessly. They've mastered the balance, reading signals without shining a spotlight on them. They don't call it out, they just respond with presence. They let her keep her mystery while quietly drawing her in. Imagine this. She's in a crowded room, talking to others, but her eyes keep returning to you. She glances away quickly, as if to cover it, but the gaze repeats again and again. Once you learn to notice, everything changes. You stop chasing with words and start leading with presence. That shift flips the dynamic. She feels pulled toward you. Look closer, and you'll see it in the small details. The way she tucks her hair behind her ear when you're near, adjusts her clothes as if preparing for your gaze, or softens her tone when she speaks to you. None of this is random. It's her unconscious alignment with her attraction, revealing what she won't say outright. This is psychological seduction, reading the invisible threads she throws out, letting them wrap around you without force, and showing her, without words, that you see through her disguise while honoring her need to hide. Where most men fail is by either ignoring these cues and missing the moment, or by exposing them too bluntly, which makes her retreat. The art is in sensing without smothering, responding without revealing, and letting her feel the pull of being discovered. The real art is balance, acknowledging her energy without breaking the tension. If she lingers near you, don't ruin the moment with, "I know you like me." Instead, hold her gaze just a second longer than normal, give a knowing smile, and then shift into something light and playful. That mix of recognition and restraint stirs her curiosity. She feels noticed without being exposed, and women find that intoxicating. Remember this: desire thrives in mystery. If you reveal everything too soon, the magic disappears. That's why she hides. In her hiding, the tension grows. Your role isn't to force a confession, but to let her reveal herself slowly, piece by piece. Each clue she drops is a breadcrumb. If you follow them with patience and confidence, the game flips. She begins chasing you. She'll test you, push and pull with her attention, and in that dance, attraction becomes magnetic. Attraction isn't about what's spoken, but about what's almost spoken. It's in the pauses, the hints, the small betrayals of the body that whisper the truth. That's where seduction lives. When you master this invisible language, you'll never look at women the same way again. You'll notice signals in every room, layers of meaning in every conversation. Women are always communicating desire. Most men just never see it. Once you learn to read what's hidden, you stop being another face in the crowd. You become the man she can't ignore, the one who uncovers her secret without her saying a word. When she feels attraction but refuses to admit it, her behavior becomes a puzzle of contradictions. She may act cold or dismissive, but her body language betrays her. This is the moment most men fail. They listen only to her words and miss the deeper truth. That's why they get ignored, rejected, or replaced by the man who understands the psychology behind her mixed signals. If you've ever wondered why she says, "I'm not interested," but still laughs at your jokes, lingers nearby, or gets jealous when you mention another girl, you've already witnessed the signs of hidden desire. The key is knowing how to read them. And one of the clearest tells? Her subtle tests. These little challenges aren't random. They're instinctive filters women use to separate strong men from weak ones. She may take hours to reply, act like she's too busy, or throw in subtle questions about other women. This isn't rejection. It's a test. She's watching to see if you'll collapse under pressure, chase harder, or stay grounded like a man who already knows his worth. Fail, and she feels justified pulling away. Pass, and her desire intensifies because she senses your strength and self-control. Here's what most men miss. When she pretends not to care, it's usually her way of protecting herself. Women fear giving their heart to the wrong man, being betrayed, or feeling too exposed. That's why attraction often comes wrapped in sarcasm, distance, or mixed signals. Maybe she touched your arm, leaned closer, laughed in a way that felt special, and then suddenly turned cold. That hot and cold rhythm isn't confusion, it's strategy. She's creating emotional tension, because tension fuels attraction. If you chase, beg, or demand clarity, you fail. If you stay calm and let her come back to you, you win. And that's when her attraction spikes. Another hidden sign, jealousy. A woman who feels nothing won't react to your attention elsewhere. But if she grows quiet when you mention another girl, or slips in a sarcastic jab when she sees you smiling at someone else, that's not indifference. That's investment. Sometimes she'll even flip the game, mentioning other men or bragging about how much fun she had without you, just to test your composure. Don't bite. Those are traps meant to expose weakness. Here's the lesson most men need. Never reward games, but always reward genuine connection. If she tests you, stay unshaken. If she shows real warmth, meet it with grounded steadiness. That balance communicates what words never could, that you're not a man who can be manipulated, replaced, or dismissed. You're the man she can truly desire, respect, and even commit to. Pay attention to how she communicates without saying things directly. A woman who likes you but doesn't want to admit it will often lace her words with hidden clues. She'll bring up past relationships, not to bore you with details, but to reveal what hurt her, what she fears, and what she still longs for. If she talks about betrayal or cheating, she's showing you why she guards her heart. If she asks you subtle questions about loyalty, trust, or what you want in a partner, she's not just curious. She's quietly measuring you against the man she hopes to find. This is where your psychology matters. Don't overshare. Don't rush to prove yourself like every other man desperate for her approval. Instead, reveal just enough to spark curiosity, but never enough to fully satisfy it. That's how you stay on her mind. That's how attraction builds naturally, without you saying a word. Here's the paradox. The more you try to convince her you're worth it, the less attractive you seem. The more you let her discover you piece by piece, the stronger her feelings grow. Women don't crave a man who gives everything away up front. They want the thrill of chasing, the excitement of uncovering hidden depth, the mystery of a man who doesn't beg for validation. That's why the clearest signs of interest often come disguised as distance. She wants you to read between the lines, not ask for reassurance. So, when you feel confused by her mixed signals, remember, she's not random, not heartless, not crazy. She's being strategic, sometimes consciously, but often because her subconscious is protecting her. Once you learn to decode those signals, you'll stop wondering if she likes you. You'll know. You'll see the reasons behind her behavior. And most importantly, you'll stop being the man who gets ignored or replaced and become the man she can't stop thinking about. The man she desires deeply, even if she hasn't said it out loud yet. Because the truth is this: a woman's attraction is rarely obvious. But once you understand that, you'll see the hidden language of desire everywhere. Suddenly, the little things you once overlooked start revealing themselves as signals of hidden desire. Some men, however, swing too far the other way, acting distant, cold, and endlessly indifferent. That approach fails just as badly. The truth is, psychology shows us that attraction thrives in balance. A man who knows his worth doesn't chase. Like a millionaire who never begs for attention, he becomes magnetic by simply holding steady. He isn't afraid of being ignored or rejected because he understands something most men miss. Her tests aren't rejection. They're doorways to deeper connection if handled the right way. So how do you pass those tests? The answer is simple, but never easy. Never lose your frame. When she pulls away, don't chase. When she creates tension, don't fold under it. When she stirs jealousy or questions your loyalty, meet it with calm certainty, not panic or defensiveness. Her subconscious is always watching, weighing your every move. If you crumble, she sees weakness. If you stay grounded, she feels an attraction she can't put into words, a magnetic pull that only grows stronger the more unshakable you remain. Another subtle sign she's interested but won't admit is how she creates moments where you must step up. Maybe she forgets to make a choice, leaves plans vague, or shifts responsibility onto you. These aren't accidents, they're tests of leadership. If you hesitate, she loses respect. If you lead, she feels the rush of desire she may never say out loud, but will always show through her emotions. This is how you awaken her attraction without ever speaking of feelings. Think back. Have you ever had a woman who picked fights out of nowhere, accused you unfairly, or seemed eager for conflict? Most men respond by arguing, explaining, or defending endlessly. That's the trap. Not every heated moment comes from cheating, betrayal, or disloyalty. Many times, it's a hidden test. She's watching to see if you'll crack under pressure, if you'll betray your own strength, or if you'll stay grounded while she's consumed by emotion. Passing these tests isn't about being flawless. It's about never losing your center. That's what makes you unforgettable. That's what makes you the man she compares every other man to, the man she fears losing. At times, her behavior will feel harsh, fake, or unfair. She might act like she doesn't care. She might pretend to lose interest. She might even act like she's ready to replace you. But here's the truth. No woman spends that much energy on a man she feels nothing for. Indifference is quiet. Passion, even when it looks like anger, sarcasm, or games, is still passion. The intensity of her contradictions reveals the depth of her feelings. If you can stop taking it personally, if you can see through the smoke to the fire beneath, you'll notice the love she tries to hide. And the reward for mastering this perspective is massive. Imagine being the man who never gets played, who never wastes years chasing women who don't care, who women can't forget no matter how hard they try. That's the power of understanding feminine psychology. You stop asking, does she like me? Because you already recognize the signs. You stop chasing commitment and instead inspire it naturally. You stop being the guy who gets replaced and start being the man who stays on her mind. So here's the final point. If you want to win with women, if you want to spark attraction and keep it alive, stop reacting to her words and start paying attention to her actions. Notice the patterns. See the truth behind the tests. Some men attract women effortlessly, while others live in doubt and frustration. That gap isn't luck, it's knowledge. I've put together a guide with practical strategies to help you shift from confusion to confidence and build genuine connections. Check the first pinned comment. It's worth your time. And if you're serious about going deeper, I've got another video waiting. It reveals the subtle ways women show their true intentions and how you can protect yourself. Because the more you understand, the more control you gain over your love life.